I'm here today with Jordan Sherman, pastor, philanthropist, motivational speaker, and entrepreneur. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for paying me such a high compliment. You know how to do that.
Such a jokester. Can you describe for us the Love Fest as if I was an out-of-town visitor?
Well, I think it's safe to say that in this instance, the name says it all. This is about showing love. I remember when the vision first came up with myself and the staff, we were trying to capture something that screams family reunion. And the idea is that the people in our communities that are struggling, that are hurt, they're not just people, they're our family, you know? And when you come together for family, if everybody brings what they have to the table, you bring your bread, I got some ham, now we got a ham sandwich that we can share. And that's the idea. As simple as it sounds, that's really what we're trying to communicate and scream to the world, that we can stamp out poverty in our community. People don't have to go hungry in our community when we throw away so much. Let's just bring it. Let's bring it to the table. Let's share it. Let's distribute it among the people.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Pastor, tell us, where did the inspiration come from to start something on this scale?
Well, I've been real conscientious of where our people are. And wherever I've pastored, wherever we've had a church, it's always been a big deal for me to get out in the community and see how people are living. And when I got here to Augusta in particular, I went downtown and I did some walking around. I went to the community in which we started this Love Fest, and I did some walking around and I saw how our people were living.
Wow.
I saw their conditions.
Wow.
I saw houses with no doors, just a screen. I saw children playing in filth right here in our city.
Wow.
And so the idea is that we can't answer every need, but there's some basic needs we can answer.
Yes.
Toothpaste and toothbrush we can answer.
Yes.
Socks and underwear we can answer. Jackets and blankets we can answer. You know, making sure that people can eat, we can answer that call.
Absolutely.
So that was where the inspiration came from here in this city.
Absolutely, yes. Yes, Pastor, tell us, how effective is Covenant with establishing intergenerational relationships?
You know what? It's been tremendous just to see the relationships come together across generations in this ministry. This is my second pastorship, and it's blessed me so much to see people like Donald come and stay.
Right.
Mama Harris come and stay. Mama Juanita come and stay and be a part of what's going on and happening in this church, who are my elders, 2 and 3 times my age. And then to be able to keep the attention of preteens and young adults. I think that God has graced us to do something as an independent ministry that a lot of ministries have not been able to accomplish. So I'm really happy with our community outreach, with the number of older individuals that we meet. I'm a young pastor. I have a staff of predominantly young people, 30 or younger. And it's just tremendous to see how God allows what we're doing to transcend those generational barriers. And I think that's the power of love.
Yes,
it transcends racial barriers. It transcends generational barriers. Yes. People can respect and respond to genuine love.
Yes, yes. Pastor, tell us, you've been in ministry for a while now. Do you sense that there's growth in the ministry now? And if so, how is that affecting day-to-day ministry?
Definitely. There's the way I see it, there's going to be one of 3 growth trends that churches hit. One is internal growth alone, the other is external growth alone, or perhaps more complicated, internal and external growth at the same time.
Yes, sir.
And this church is definitely in a very interesting trend where I see a combination of both happening.
Okay.
There's a lot of growth, there's a lot of maturity from inside, but you're also getting a lot of newcomers. People are a lot more interested in what's going on, what are we doing in this church, in this community. Mm-hmm. And it is affecting our day-to-day operation in that now we're having to consider like never before how we service the people that we reach.
Wow.
So you grew up in a church like I did.
Right, I did.
When we grew up in church back in the day, church was about good church. It was
Right.
about good preaching. It was
Absolutely.
about good music. And now people care about that, but they care more about what practical needs are being met. So we're in that generation of church where you cannot afford to be a pastor and not meet practical needs. So as a church, we're growing to that point where we're having to have a facility that's open all day, where we can continue what we do in isolated moments of the Love Fest. We can do that day to day, feeding people, giving away clothes, mentorship programs for the youth, academic readiness, job readiness. All those things are becoming essential to this church, and we're preparing to start doing it every day.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Pastor, with such limited resources, how has the church been able to reach its goal in this particular event?
The church, this ministry has been able to reach its goal for the Community Love Fest in particular because of generous people. I remember the first year we got started, we were not as prepared as we could have been with predicting how much money it was really going to take to do it. One sister pulled out her credit card, and everything we needed, she charged it to her credit card.
Wow.
We racked up thousands of dollars to make this event successful. Nobody knew that behind the scenes. So just the generosity of people. We had people that solicited funds from their family members, that reached out to business owners that they knew. And if it was not for the community responding, our listening audience on the radio responding, we would have not been able to accomplish any of this. So with limited resources, we've only been able to reach our goal by God touching people's heart, by people believing in what we're doing, partnering with us and saying, hey, we want to see this happen.
Right.
Even people who had never come just heard about what we were doing and they participated. And I want to also comment on how the community, which was interesting, every single year, we've done this event 4 times now, every single year the community responds. Wow. There were people we were there to help who were bringing what they had to the table for us to distribute among the community. Yes. And I'll never forget those brothers that people would say are bums or they're not doing anything. Every day that they saw our truck coming up, came out, helped us set up, stayed around every day, helped us break down. Absolutely. So not only from the generosity of people who are outside of the community, but we have to say it was the generosity of people in that community that helped us reach our goal as well, and that make it worthwhile. We will go back every year that the Lord allows us to because of those people.
Excellent, excellent. Pastor, with new sponsorship opportunities, what would be your new goals for this event?
The new goal is, to make it bigger and better. And when I say bigger in this regard, I mean having more community vendors out who are willing to give their services to the community, creating more opportunities for people to help themselves. So what's been really important for us heretofore has been giving things away and wanting people to know that it's free. And it is. We're going to always give away food. We're going to always give away clothes. Right. But I would love to see educational opportunities where people can help themselves.
Absolutely.
So what about those people who are still trying to find jobs, having job interview skills, having community employers out there who are saying, hey, we will give felons another chance. Mom and pop places who say we're not regulated by large corporations. We will join in. We want to see our community change. And then there are just miscellaneous things like the truck that we have to rent every year, the equipment that we have to use to be able to purchase those things and to have a consistent facility where people know, hey, here's that ministry that has been out here. They're here for us every day. That's a big deal for us. Those are things that we can't do without the appropriate sponsorship, to take care of the necessary expenses that go along with these type of events. And it's tremendous. It's huge.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What do you believe is your fundamental calling as a minister of the gospel?
I love the conviction that you asked that question with, brother. That was tremendous.
It's an important one.
I think that my fundamental call as a minister of the gospel is to raise up other people, to inspire other people to get out of our churches and make a difference where it counts. I detest the politics of church, the bureaucracy of church, the religiosity of church. I hate all of the red tape that says you can't or can do this, while none of us are really, or I should say not enough of us, are out there where it counts, in the trenches. So I pattern my call of the gospel ministry to that of historical Jesus, a man who spent time with sinners and publicans, and when the scribes and Pharisees wanted him to stone people, he refused,
Right.
and he showed mercy and love, and he fed them when they were hungry,
That's right.
and he challenged them to do better. He told them to go and sin no more, but refused to police their lives.
Wow.
I see that as my fundamental call. I can't answer for anybody else, but that's what I aspire to model and to raise up and inspire other people to do.
Wow, fantastic.